Hey everyone, I'm Rob. It's Sunday today, so that means it's time to sit down and chat all things ChatGPT and generative AI and catch up with the news in the week. And I swear that I will change the angle for the next week, but it's still a bit of mess from when my sister stayed here. I was sleeping in this room. So anyways, blah blah blah, let's begin. Now, let's first start off with some OpenAI news because this week the news is a little bit juicy. There's a little bit of tea and it becomes a little bit dramatic. So let's start there. So this week, OpenAI has released a press statement saying that they are partnering with Stack Overflow for an API partnership. Now, what is Stack Overflow? For many of you that may know, Stack Overflow is a community kind of like Reddit, where people ask coding and software development questions and then are upvoted by answers. So essentially, it's like software professionals helping other software professionals with questions and answers. Now, when ChatGPT was announced, a lot of Stack Overflow users didn't really like it. They were pretty vocal about, not wanting to see output or answers that were generated using ChatGPT. Also, too, it should be said that Stack Overflow users use this basically for free, and it's kind of like Reddit, where questions and answers are provided for free, and yeah, it's a nice knowledge exchange. Now, what's the issue? Well, with ChatGPT and OpenAI have been kind of allegedly been scraping a lot of the data from Stack Overflow. But now OpenAI is like, hey, Stack Overflow, we're actually going to give you money for this time. And so they're collaborating with this Overflow API to help people when they use ChatGPT with coding answers to access all the trained data over 15 years of community answers from Stack Overflow. So, why are people upset? Well, essentially, you have a lot of coders that have put time and effort into this and put in really great, in-depth, thoughtful answers on Stack Overflow and are essentially getting no attribution at all. So before, if you go into Stack Overflow, you would see, a user and their top voted answer. And now this answer is just being squished into this model and there is no attribution being given. So, what are Stack Overflow users doing? Well, they are, according to Ars Technica, they are sabotaging some of their posts. So the anti-AI users or the people that are very frustrated with Stack Overflow's policies are going in and changing their upvoted answers, and essentially with protest messages. So what is Stack Overflow doing? Stack Overflow is, according to one user, one user went in, changed all of his answers to a protest message, and Stack Overflow responded by suspending this person's account for 7 days. So it's going to be interesting to see what will happen. Perhaps there will be like a Helldiver sort of thing in which like the community of Stack Overflow will galvanize to change their answers in protest, we'll see. I mean, this is the risk of using these public platforms with changing user agreements. I'm here with the Stack Overflow users, and hopefully there will be something, and there will be sort of a clear attribution to these users from OpenAI. Now, we're not done with kind of the shady stuff from OpenAI just yet. So remember last week when we talked about that they would be releasing a search engine soon? Well, just to update that, the news is now that by Monday, so tomorrow, we should see the OpenAI unveiling, or we should at least see a press release about their Google search competitor. Now, why is this shady? Because on Tuesday, Google has their Google I/O conference, which is like their big yearly developer conference where they unveil new features, and machine learning, AI platforms, etc. It's kind of like the big like Apple press release event. It's like the big deal. But OpenAI is coming in, stealing a little bit of thunder and kind of, I feel like, deflating the balloon a little bit. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I'm very curious to see how their search competitor will flesh out, how this will work, etc. Very excited and to try and use it, but also too, this is very. This is an interesting business power play move where it's just like, you have this big conference on Tuesday. Actually, Monday, we're going to steal a bit of the limelight. Haha. So that's it from an OpenAI news perspective this week. Now, as summer is here, things are heating up, and by heating up, I mean a bit of competition, which is fun and healthy. So let's talk about what Microsoft is doing. So according to Routers and Yahoo Finance, Microsoft is looking to unveil a new AI model to compete with Google Gemini Pro and OpenAI. So it has been reported that they are internally referring to this new model as MAI-1, and it is being overseen by a recently hired person from Google DeepMind, Mustafa Suleyman. And yeah, we're going to see what that will entail. Now, according to, again, these internal reports, it will have roughly 500 billion parameters, while OpenAI's ChatGPT 4 has 1 trillion parameters. This makes it a bit of kind of like a mid-tier heavyweight model. Now, the interesting thing with this is that it is Microsoft is setting aside large clusters of servers with NVIDIA's graphical processing units. So I'm curious to see what this model will entail. I'm guessing it will probably be something maybe like video or multimedia related. But yeah, that's what we know so far. Now, this model's not all that Microsoft has been, wanting to announce and, throwing itself into the ring. We are also seeing a $3.3 billion investment into Wisconsin. And what Microsoft is intending to do is to increase and spur innovation and its economic growth. And you might be thinking, okay, why Wisconsin? Well, Wisconsin, of course, is in the middle of the United States, so it is great for Microsoft data centers to, kind of effectively distribute data and through the rest of the United States. So it's a great place. It's also interesting because I feel like, if I recall correctly, President Trump had like this stimulus for Foxconn that it wanted to do in Wisconsin, fell through, and Microsoft is coming in instead and doing an investment deal. And politically wise, this is good optics. President Biden will join Microsoft at the Gateway Technical College in Wisconsin to announce the new investment. So what it's looking at doing is investing in cloud and AI infrastructure. What it wants to do hopefully is just, increase the workforce, increase jobs there, and they say creating a future-ready workforce. So that is lovely. If you live in Wisconsin, I can imagine nice. Now, we can't talk about some of the other tech giants without talking about Amazon. Amazon is kind of funny because it's just like, yes, it does have generative AI. It's investing a lot into it, and it kind of just feels this like person that's also like edging their elbows at the table as well. And according to Business Insider, it's kind of the same thing. So there's a leaked memo that Amazon will require cloud events to spend 80% of their time talking about generative AI. So what that means is that their global summit event, they want 80% of it to discuss generative AI. And of course, this makes sense because it's aiming to compete with the Microsofts, the OpenAIs, the Googles, etc. They still have things like Amazon Bedrock, which we talked about like a year ago, but I don't know what else to say. It's kind of like, we're still rooting for you, Amazon. Like, you go, Glen Coco. Now, to shift to some interesting tech news, Jim Fan, who is NVIDIA's Senior Research Manager and lead of Embodied AI, they're creating foundational models for humanoid robots and gaming, released a very interesting update on X saying that they trained a dog to balance and stay on top of a yoga ball using zero-shot training. So what that means is that they trained this, and then for their zero-shot implementation, it means that this dog didn't require any sort of like feedback interventions, any sort of like testing, retesting, etc. They were able to simulate this model, upload it to this robotic dog, and then it just worked. So yeah, when we talk about zero shot, it means that like, you don't have to do any sort of like feedback testing or like, training, retraining, etc. And this is so interesting / like scary / like I don't know. There's something about like robotic dogs that freak me out. And here it, I don't know. It just, I don't know. This, like, I'm gonna get nightmares from this thing. Jeez Louise. Yeah, that's all I can say. So I think there's some great implications from this when it comes to, training robotics for manual labor, etc., and even just the complexities and what this requires, like in terms of balancing. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of more interesting use cases that come out of this. Hopefully, just not like weaponry. So I'm hoping that we don't see like a partnership with NVIDIA and with like Raytheon. But anyways, I digress. Super cool. I will, of course, put a link to this in the description of the video so you can check it out and be horrified as well. Last couple of news items, really cool. I saw the demonstration of Sora rendering a video and changing one element in the video. Super neat. So they show like 30-year-old man in a gray suit, and it shows 30-year-old man in a gray suit, 60-year-old man with a white beard, and I feel like, and here we say woman, here with robot. So I feel like this is going to be so interesting when it comes to like the movie industry and people signing away their likeness. Honestly, if I could be a 20-year-old again, I would go into this space. I think this is so fascinating that like really it's like the advent of like technology and entertainment and like how cheap things are going to be made, and unfortunately probably how cheap things might start to look. You know what? That's all I'm going to say. The other thing that I found very fascinating, and this is the last news article, was that, we can't escape from AI. I mean, really yeah, you know what? That's all I'm going to say. It was funny how many people were fooled by Katy Perry at the Met Gala. So the Met Gala is that big fashion event that happens, I think, in New York in support of the Metropolitan Museum. Vogue puts it on, and basically like, all of the B-list celebrities come and get dressed up and sit at tables, and there's this it's a really big deal for people who are really interested in fashion. So awesome. Now the thing is, Katy Perry didn't attend, and somebody posted this tweet: Katy Perry, that's it, #Met Gala. It had over 9 million views, over 300,000 likes by now, and it's funny because this image is actually AI generated. Katy Perry did not attend. Funny. So really it's yeah. It just, for me, it's kind of like okay, are we going to start to need like blockchain identification of what is not AI generated? Actually, no, whatever. I'm going to stop talking. So that's it for the news this week. Now, in my personal life, I had the opportunity to speak at an ACMP webinar for change management and generative AI. And so that was with Katy, who you know and are familiar with on this channel. Her and I were invited by ACMP Ohio to give a presentation on updating and integrating the change management framework with generative AI. So it was pretty cool. There is a playback of Zoom. So of course I'm going to put that in the description of this video so you can watch us. We chat for around like a good hour or so and walk through some of the prompts that we've designed and developed for change management, and kind of just talking about the ACMP change management framework and just embedding AI into there. So yeah, you can see me, right? And also to shout out, because the slides are slick, you can also get the slides for free. And they're slick. I designed them. I love them. They're amazing. Look at them. Look at how good these slides are. Come on. Okay. Anyways, that's my story. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week ahead and a great restful Sunday. Thanks everyone for watching. Talk to you next time. Bye.